Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Rift Podcast Project. Today we are joined by Kamal.
What's up, guys? My name is Kamal, and I'm a rising senior.
Hello, it's great having you on the show today.
Thank you so much. Glad to be here.
Yeah. So, we're mainly going to be focusing on one primary topic today, and that is something Kamal and I both share, and that's robotics. Kamal and I have been on a robotics team for the past 3 years together. We've been on two teams, and yeah, it's been a blast.
Yeah, I mean, we've had many memories. Like, we've also had building triumphs and tragedies.
Many
And yeah,
tragedies.
many tragedies. I think we should start off with the first year, like the first time we ever did
Did
robotics.
robotics competitively. So, uh, we're gonna. I guess we can go chronologically. So, the first year, uh, is the year that we call the year that we shall not speak of.
Yeah.
Cause, come on, do you wanna touch up on the fact why we try to erase our first year in competitive robotics?
Well, yeah, of course. I'll talk about it. So basically, like I think Samir and I'm sure. Well, I have done like some robotics and building stuff. You've done too, right? You've done
Yeah,
some.
I've done robotics for a while.
Yeah. So we both have like we both had some experience, but we are actually a part of FTC or First Tech Challenge, part of
Yeah.
the whole engineering community, and basically their challenges they're like really different, really complicated.
Hmm.
And so every year there's a new challenge. We have to build a robot that will suit for the challenge, like that will help us complete the goals, the tasks, and the setbacks,
Yeah.
and overcome the setbacks. My bad. And so back to Samir's question. The reason why we don't really want to talk about the first
Well,
year.
why we try to avoid talking about
Yeah,
it?
my bad. Yeah. It's because it was a flop in a sense. It was a flop.
List off, we flopped so bad, which was primarily our fault. Like, don't get us wrong, it wasn't exactly we encountered unfortunate circumstances and stuff. We just did really badly on our own accord. And for people who don't know what FTC is part of a larger organization called FIRST, which stands for Inspiration and Recognition of Science and Technology. And basically, First is a like sort of youth organization uh, started for robotics competitions, and it's got a ton of different robotics competitions like First Lego League and First Tech Challenge, which we are in, which is I think middle school and high school. FTC is.
Yeah, there's like middle schoolers that also do it.
Yeah.
There's also like an FRC, which is like huge robots.
Yes.
And so I have a friend who lives in Turkey. He actually does FRC, and like their robots are huge. Like our robots
FRC is
are
cool.
like maximum like 18 inches. Theirs is like way over like 2 feet or something like that. It's actually insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know.
FRC is cool. But yeah, we do FTC, and basically going back to why we don't really talk about our first year in robotics is because, well, let's just say for our first qualifier tournament, it's the first tournament we ever did. We built our whole robot the week before competition.
You should
We
never and ever do that, by the way.
never do that. We
Never.
didn't know we did. We did some brainstorming and just never did anything with that. And we primarily just kind of played video games and messed around in the lab. And then the week before competition, we are like, shoot, we have a competition. And yeah, that was it was a wake up call, and I felt really bad for our robotics mentor, cause
Oh,
he, cause he was new that year, so we were like all new, and he was like really pumped. He's a great guy, but he was really pumped, and he was trying to get us into it, and we were probably in the first place we were into it, but then after that we kind of started to mess around, didn't really pay attention, and like I don't know if it was necessarily care because at the end of the day, I felt like we all cared about it. We just got like super distracted and did not put as much effort as we should have. And so he tried his best, but unfortunately, we did not succeed. So he just tried to make it as fun as possible for us. But
Yeah,
yeah.
I do you want me to
Yep,
talk?
yep. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So like literally there would be days like it was morning before our first class. I would come to the lab, Samir was there, Amon was there, Tyler, all those other friends that we have, and we would
Yeah.
just play games. CS:GO,
We would just
uh,
mess around.
exactly. And then we would
And
play games again during lunch, and then especially like we would really get into it after school. Like we would even project it on the big board some
yeah.
days.
Mhm.
So one of our friends, he has like a computer, like this huge computer with like a bunch of USB ports. So we used robotics controllers and played video games from his computer. And I
Well,
mean, it was,
they're like gamepad and controllers, but yeah, which are usually used for the robots, but we figured out that we could use them for our games. So
yeah,
we did that, and like our mentor was pretty cool about it. He was like, "Hey, you should be working on robotics." But at the end of the day, he knew like I think having that first year actually has benefited me because now I know exactly what not to do.
yeah, exactly,
And I felt like I needed that 1 year to experience the whole like FTC competition stuff in like a light or a year where I wasn't doing it to like do well. I was just doing it like to have fun.
exactly. I mean, dude, literally, I think that the first year in robotics, it taught us how to be self sufficient in a sense, like how to like be more organized. I guess come together as a team, and I mean, there like in the first competition, we had like a decent amount of students. Like we had like 12 students.
We had
Like
a lot of people interested
yeah,
who
exactly.
because the main reason with that is because we had a lot of people in because like first and foremost all of us really didn't put too much effort. So even though some people weren't as committed as others, we all did like the same general amount of work, so we all just showed up. That's why we had a lot of people, and that's why over the years we have lost a lot of those people because, you know, it's not
Some
necessarily that they just didn't care, it's just that they weren't as passionate.
exactly. Like honestly, there have been times in competitions where I'm like thinking, you know what, I'm tired of this. Sometimes, like I remember there was like we like last year we went to like a state championship, and like on the drive team, like we had
Uh,
like an alliance.
Kamal was our driver last year, and I was a coach for on the drive team. So what we usually do is we have one driver and two coaches, which we think has worked pretty well for our team. That's
True.
another thing we messed up for our first year. Our first year, we had basically everybody on the team drive in our competitions, which was the stupidest thing we could have ever done.
Yeah, I mean,
It was fun. Like we all had gotta have fun, but if you were actually trying to like win, that's just not the way
true.
to go. But yeah, sorry, I cut you off. We were talking about states last year.
Oh, of course. So I mean, getting into state, it's like there's two regional qualifiers, and
Yes.
they choose how many teams? Like fives? I
I
don't know.
can't remember off the top of my head, but a
It
certain
depends.
amount of teams qualify each qualifier. And we, first of all, it's pretty obvious from what we're saying that we did not qualify for states our first year. So
Oh
qualifying for
no.
states last year was like a huge deal for us. Like to
Yeah.
be fair, we didn't set the bar too high, but we like vaulted over the bar. I think we got into uh playoffs
Yeah,
and
like yeah, we were like in the quarterfinals or something like that. Like it was like the
yeah,
first round.
quarterfinals for our division. Yeah.
And so the team that we were partnered with,
Hmm.
they basically like their teammates were yelling at us saying that drive the robot this way, drive the robot that way. And I mean like you already there's so much pressure because as a driver, you're representing the entire team. Like you're basically it's really different because like
Yeah.
when you're like on the backstage when you're building, it's like a team effort. But when you drive, you're the one person that's representing the entire team's like hours spent on the construction, the planning. Like it's a lot of pressure. Don't like it's a lot of pressure.
And
And
don't get us wrong, but like we say yelling, but the other team was feeling just as much pressure, and like we were going our alliance going in was not like exactly the favorite. And so they were trying as hard as possible, and obviously pressure gets to us in all different ways.
yeah.
And yeah. So sorry, I'm
Oh,
you
of
again.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. So basically, we did our match, and obviously we
We got
lost.
smoked
We got
so bad.
we got destroyed, and I mean, it's not that we've lost before. Obviously, like
Yeah.
you're not going to win every single game. That's just not possible.
Mhm.
But like, what kind of annoyed like our team and especially me was that our alliance partners instead of their fans just like our teammates they just sit down they watch they sometimes they record us usually
Yeah.
but their teammates were yelling at me yelling at their driver on how to control the robot and I got so
Yeah.
pissed because it's like I mean I like Samir, like Samir drives the robot. He drove the robot.
I drove this season, and
I
yeah,
drove.
I can definitely tell. It's definitely a hard place where obviously I can understand what the team's point of view is because it's hard to sit there. Like even I don't think I was too bad in terms of like telling you what to do,
Yeah, no, you were good.
especially because I was a coach, so it was a little
Yeah,
bit
that's
easier for
different.
me. But if you're on the bleachers, it's a bit hard because this is like you've put so much effort into this robot and you have to put faith in these three people, especially like the one driver, to win the competition, win the rounds. And yeah,
Yeah,
it can sometimes be a bit rough, but yeah, definitely it does not help the driver at all because our driver, they've been training for the season, they've been practicing, been working with the drive team. So you just have to trust your drive team basically.
exactly.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I mean, what I'm thinking. Wait, what good moment, dude? I mean, honestly, compared to like the first year, this year we actually did so well. Like we were
this year,
organized.
well, the main thing is that this is what I like to think of our progression in terms of experience. First year, we were getting our feet wet. We were just like we're jumping in, getting to know everything, understanding everything, and also we were just having fun and we're really wasn't competing. Then year after that, we were like trying to set ourselves straight and we were going to compete properly. We were going to put effort into our robot, plan and practice and things like that. And we did fairly well. We did better than we did the season before that. We got into states, obviously. We were super stoked about that. And then going into this year, we joined, I guess technically it was the senior team to us for the 2 years before that. But the main thing was that that team had lost most of its members because most of them had graduated. So we had two people who were pretty great people that were on that team, and then a lot of us from the older team joined that team. And I think just the shared experience between all of us and the fact that at this point we had lost a lot of the original people from that earlier year, and it was just purely the group of people who were super. I don't know the word. Do you know the word? Like super focused and like just super passionate about robotics and trying to do well. And yeah, you can talk about what we did this year.
Yeah. So last year, like we had two teams. Like our team, the one that Samir and I we were a part of, we made it to states.
Hmm.
This year, we not only did well in states, we actually qualified for the World Championships in Detroit. Can you believe that, Samir? World
We
Championships. I
we
could have
qualified for the
never
world.
and ever imagined that.
I
Never.
I was literally in tears at the competition. just because thinking about how far we had come from like that one silly team from our first year to world qualifying, it was it was crazy. Especially because like I was the driver and just like everyone had put so much effort in that just pressure. It was crazy. And honestly, I have to give it to my coaches. I had two fantastic coaches who honestly just worked me through like all the strategy stuff, and also the team itself built like an incredible robot. Like it didn't matter. Anybody who drove that robot probably would have qualified. That robot was insane.
Yeah, no, this year, no, that robot we built this year was so different, like compared to the other teams, because like literally, like just think about it. Imagine like we had like a what was it called? Like we had like this arm that went up extended. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I wish I could show. Do you have a photo of it? I don't know.
Do I have a photo? I don't know if I have one set, but yeah, we had a lift intake system. That was the main thing because our past 2 years before that we had kind of taken the more simplified approach to our robot building. That's one of the reasons why we didn't do as well in states to qualify for worlds, mainly because like simple can get you decently far, but it was like very simple. And once you get up against like especially in the states where you have top teams there, you simple is not going to carry you all the way through. And
Yeah,
this year we this year I think one of the credit goes to the fact that we spent a lot of time brainstorming. This year we put a lot more emphasis on that part of the season, which I think brought up a lot of cool ideas which we were able to, manifest into a fantastic robot. Obviously, unfortunately, we were not able to attend the World Championship due to it being canceled because of the coronavirus pandemic, but
yeah,
it was quite disappointing. But hopefully, if we are able to, we can qualify next season.
yeah, dude. I mean, like honestly, this coronavirus has impacted just like everything. Honestly,
Everything.
from school to college, you name it. And I mean, dude, they're gonna start they're gonna have a new season, new challenge. Do you know
Yeah.
when that's gonna come up? Like the new.
I do not know. The video usually comes out early September, like
Okay.
if I can remember correctly. Yeah. But yeah, especially like I remember when the whole coronavirus thing was coming out, and it was pretty obvious everything. Like we were already going to be starting to quarantine, school was shutting down, things like that, and just like the World Championship, they took a bit to cancel it. Like obviously it was a massive event, so I can't really fault them too
Oh,
much.
of
But
course.
I kept inside me, I kept like this tiny hope that Worlds wouldn't be canceled, and I'd be able to go, but unfortunately, and rightly so, it was canceled.
Yeah, I
So
mean, yeah, like, eh,
it
yeah.
was it was heartbreaking,
Oh,
but
of course.
it I just feel like it makes all of us even more driven for this next season.
Exactly. I mean, we qualified this year, but since we weren't able to go, I feel like now the team next year we're gonna have more of a grit, more of a desire
Hmm.
to win every single game and put us on the map to world championships. And I mean, our division is really tough, dude.
We have some solid teams.
Actually, I can't emphasize this anymore. I think that after Silicon Valley, we and like maybe Oregon, I think we're up next. The DMV region has one of the most competitive like regional or even state competitions in the entire like FTC program.
Yeah, we've got some solid teams, but there's solid teams everywhere. Also, I don't know. I like our odds. If you think about the trend of our team, first we didn't qualify anything, then we qualified for states, then we qualified for worlds. So obviously the next step is winning worlds.
Oh yeah.
So if you're following the trend, we basically got it in the bag. And that's like another thing. I feel like a lot of the feelings in us is going. This season is definitely going to feel a lot more different because, especially after going into the second season, we were mainly just we were shooting for states, and we weren't even sure if we were going to get into states. We were like, you know what, we literally can't do any worse than we did the year before.
Exactly.
So we're just gonna go, and if we do better, that's a win. We'll take it. And then we got into states, and we're like, yo, we're in states. And of course, we did not qualify for Worlds that year. But going into the next year, we're like, so we made it to states. Let's try it for Worlds. It'd be cool. But now that we've qualified for Worlds, there's just that like hunger. We know we can achieve it. So we have that desire to once again, hopefully qualify.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like the feeling's mutual if you want to like elaborate on your side.
that is true. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we have that trend. It's really cool. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
I
Like,
think it's a pretty cool story. Like
yeah, of
going
course.
from literally we counted how far from the bottom of the list we were. We're like, yo, we're second, even though we actually meant like a second from last place.
Yeah, like we like like the first year we were like happy that we didn't get last place.
That was what we were shooting for, not to get
Exactly.
last place. And I think second year we were shooting for at least like top 15, things like
Yeah.
that. And then our first qualifier this season, we had a fantastic intake system, but our lifting mechanism wasn't quite where we wanted it to be, and we didn't want to go in with a terrible lifting mechanism. And we went in and we got into playoffs with like purely an intake system, which was pretty crazy. And I don't know where we were ranked. We were ranked like 17, 15, something like that. It was pretty solid for just purely intake. And then the next qualifier, we went undefeated, number one out of the whole tournament, which was pretty crazy. Going from basically last place first year to first place. It was on our third year. That was pretty surreal. And
Yeah.
then we got, I guess technically you can call us second in terms of the robotics competition at states because we were actually no. Do we count as second?
In what
No,
like
we don't count as second, but we count as like we were in the finals of the state championship, and we're the
yeah,
captain of the Lions of the finals. That was pretty crazy. I think that was what the first or second time in our team's history after like the
yeah,
past
like
of like 5 6 years or something to be like the captain of a finals the Lions.
that yeah, no. I don't honestly dude, like last year the more advanced team or like this in this case like the already like graduated seniors previous
Yeah.
class they barely qualified to worlds. They barely qualified. I'm
Yeah,
telling
but they
they
qualified
qualified. It's
nonetheless.
still amazing.
Yeah,
They like but like compared to this year, like this year our team we did way better than the last year's team. You know what I mean?
which was mainly because like we got that experience from that team as well. Like we had
Exactly.
members, and they were able to use that experience to help benefit us.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
And
but
like
like
even the alumni have been so supportive of our team even
oh,
after
true.
they
Yeah.
graduated. Yeah.
True. I don't yeah, that's it's really cool. But
Mhm.
like oh my god, do you remember the we were at states this competition or it was the second no, it was states. We went to a hotel room
Yeah.
and we have like practice. We have to do like interviews for the
Oh yeah,
judges at every
yes, we have
single
to do
competition.
interviews. So I can explain what that is. So
Yeah.
basically, each team has to do an interview, and basically we talk about our team, and this is basically for judges to judge us about like giving awards. You get awards at the tournament, and some awards can help you qualified for like the next level. Like you can get award for states or award for worlds. That's what the other team that we were talking about last year got. They got an award which allowed them to qualify for worlds.
Oh
And
yeah.
so it's a pretty big deal. And there's also the engineering notebook, which basically you're supposed to document the whole process of what goes into your robot, like brainstorming, designing, prototypes, things like that, and also service and general things about our team. And that's another shame from our first year. Our engineering notebook was a Google Doc printout
Yeah,
packet,
I
which
remember.
was I don't even think that I
Joke.
like counted. It was pretty poor. But yeah, after that we went and got actual journals and then we've done pretty well in terms of documentation.
Yeah, like I feel like, dude, honestly, that first notebook was a joke. It was just a couple pages. Like, dude, like the judges or like just in any of
I
those.
don't know if we got actually like considered because of that. I hope we
No,
weren't
of
considered at all.
course
I hope
not.
they just kind of like slipped it under
They
the
just like
table.
toss it in the bin, probably saying that this team's a joke or it's like their first year. You know.
Well, they didn't toss it out because we got it back, surprisingly.
Well,
But
yeah, but like I mean, like
it was,
metaphorically, it's like
yeah,
not like
it was
that.
pretty, it was pretty poor, and that's also like to our own faults because keeping an engineering notebook is not as easy as it sounds. It's a lot of work, and you have to be willing to put in that work, which we unfortunately were not willing to our first year.
Oh,
But yeah,
sure. No, I mean, no, we would leave it to one person. I think who who was doing it.
we just like everyone would just try to push it off to one
Oh,
person, and our mentor would try to stress the fact that it's a team thing, but unfortunately we just like, you know what, I don't want to write a whole paragraph or page on what I did, but
dude, yeah,
it's essential. And it
yeah.
helps us even after this whole robotics thing. Documentation of process is
Oh,
very important.
of course, dude. Do you know what was funny? Oh my
What?
god. So this year we had like a CAD entry in
Yeah.
a notebook,
Oh
and
yeah.
one of your teammates, like he never wrote on the notebook. He was a first year freshman. He's my
Yeah.
boy. But
Hmm.
he didn't write in a notebook. So I was like, dude, write in the notebook. And he wrote in it, and it was, oh my god, it was the funniest thing I ever read.
Well, at least he eventually did it.
Yeah, he eventually did it, but it was so funny, dude.
Yeah.
Like the like one of the seniors, like she's done robotics for how many years? Like her
Like eight
family.
and 9 years. She's like a robotics superstar.
Yeah,
Like to
exactly.
be honest, like I have I have no shame in saying that I have striven to do what she has done on the team. Like it's remarkable. But yeah, she's been doing it for a long time and she's been so passionate about it.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy though how passionate she is. Like it's actually like you won't find any other person in our school that is as passionate for FTC as that girl. And she's
Yeah.
going to Tufts. That's actually a really good school. I mean,
Yeah.
congratulations to her. Like
Congratulations.
I'm actually looking to apply there, but
Yep.
yeah. But yeah, anyway, so she kind of got pissed at my bro because like she's like,
Rightfully so. But
"Oh, of
yeah.
course, dude, it was so funny. I wish I took a picture of it." It was like
It was
it was
he got let's just say he got what he deserved.
yeah, dude. Like normally when we write, it's like all single spaced line by line, small writing. He took up like three, four like little like cubes. So like each he like took four spaces and then he did double space for each line.
Yeah,
And
it
then like he like
was.
that was so funny. Like actually like I read it and I was like, dude, you gotta be kidding me. And
The worst part is that once you write in the notebook, we have to write in pen. So
there's no
once you write in
erasing.
the notebook, it's stuck in the notebook.
Yeah.
So
Judges they see it. And dude, it wasn't like a little project. It was the whole CAD. It was like a whole like robot modeling onto like a computer.
yeah,
And I
we did
mean,
a lot of 3D printing for our robot
yeah,
this year. which was
And we
very
also like modeled a robot on like this
and
CAD.
yeah, we had a CAD team who basically
Yeah.
models on it,
Yeah,
and they
yeah,
basically modeled our whole robot
yeah,
digitally, which is incredible.
yeah, dude. That like, bro, it was like they said, you know what, Kamal, since you're the leader, you're gonna write, and I was gonna write, but then when
He had to write something.
yeah,
So
but the problem was one of my teammates, my bro, like my other bro, he didn't write anything in the notebook, and so we said that he needs to write, and he kind of messed it up. So then I had to take it, I had to write, and it was fine. But like, it's interesting because some people are like really really good at writing, but they're not so good at tech.
yeah,
This guy, he's a Java wizard. Some people say he's so good at coding.
he's good at coding. He's a
Like
good programmer.
I visited his house like 2 weeks ago or something like that. Like I said, "Yo, what's up?" And like literally on his computer, he was like learning like this like new coding language or something like that. He was taking like coding classes.
Oh,
And
which language was he doing?
I don't know, and I didn't really ask, but like
All right.
I don't think it was Java. It was something else. I
Was it
don't
C plus plus?
something like that, or it was no, or it was Python or something like
Oh, Python. Python's cool.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
Um.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, so like I'm just like everybody is different. Like he's
Yeah.
really good
Everyone's
at
got different talents and
exactly.
different things like that. Different strong suits.
And honestly, we had a lot of people on the team. We had like what, 12, 13 team members?
Yeah, we had 13, around 12 to 13, like, and everyone was super passionate. So it was a great
Yeah.
environment to be in.
Dude, we need to talk about one of my like one of the other seniors that he joined this year. I don't want to say his name. It's but like he's so funny. He's
Oh, I
going to
know you're saying.
Georgetown.
He's
He's so
he's a
funny.
great dude.
He's like actually like he's so funny. Like literally, like we worked on the catting thing on like we like
He came in with we have like a store in our school, and he came in with food from every single practice. It'd always be like a hot pocket. He'd always come in with like a hot pocket
or
or something
taquito.
or a taquito every single day to practice. And yeah, he was a cool dude. He was a cool dude.
Dude, he's like bro, he didn't get master grapher. He didn't get master grapher. I mean
That's unfortunate.
like literally like in robotics it was like him and I we were like in the same math class. Samir,
Mm-hmm.
uh that boy and I, we're all in the same math class.
Yeah.
But like so we would always compare grades, him and I, while we were doing CAD at the same time. And he would always one up me. He'd be like, "Oh, what did you get on the test?" And I would say like 98 or 96. And he said,
Like
"What?" And he's like,
100
100.
boy.
Yeah, he's like 100, 100. I'm like, wow. I mean, he's a really hardworking student. He got like cum laude or something like that. Like, I don't,
He's a pretty smart dude
yeah.
and extremely dedicated.
Oh, gee, it's like insane. Like he's really good at academics. But then when I did better than him on the master grapher, I was like, bruh. I was surprised though, because he didn't really care at all, because he already like got into his school. He didn't need
Yeah.
to take any more tests. He just said, you
Mhm.
know what? He said, you know what? Whatever. Like
Congrats.
Hail Mary. Yeah, exactly. I got into my school. I can do whatever I want. I don't know how is that feeling like once you got into your college, the school that you want to go to.
I don't know. I feel like you can't really understand the feeling until it happens to you.
Exactly.
So soon enough we'll experience it. I think we're getting close to the end, but I think
Wait,
we
what?
can end off with one more story
Wait, what?
from
Wait, how long have you been doing this? I can't see the time.
I think it's 34 minutes right now.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, 34 and a half. I think we can end off with a funny story from our second season where I don't know if you remember, but it involved a baguette. If
Oh
you
my
remember
god. Oh my
that.
god. You like went up
So
to the restaurant.
it was our first time going. Was it this was States, right?
Yeah, first time going to
First time at
States.
States, and everyone was like super psyched, and I was very psyched. And it was I think our second time staying in a hotel for the tournament because I think no,
Yeah, it was their
third
second.
time, second or
Okay.
third.
I don't remember. I think it
It
was.
was one of those, but like we hadn't been like away from home for that long for
Yeah.
robotics at least, so we were all pretty excited, and we went and got dinner at a Panera, and I just saw in the window a baguette, and I was like, you know what? I'm buying us a baguette, and
It was
so
huge. It was huge.
I got a full size baguette, and the thing is that I was like, after I got it, I was like, oh wait, I just have a baguette. This probably looks ridiculous. So what I did was that I stashed the baguette in my like sweatshirt sleeve.
Oh yeah, yeah, I remember that. That's
And I don't think
funny.
anyone realized I had bought it because I had it stashed in my sleeve. And then we were walking down, I think it was in like the parking lot or something. I just like whipped it out, or it was in the hallway. I whipped it. I just like we were all just chatting, and then I just whipped out the baguette. And I think half the team thought I like just shoplifted the Panera
Yeah, exactly. No,
a baguette.
dude, I was next to you. I was laughing at it. I don't know. Wait, how did our mentor think about it? I don't.
I don't know if he knew.
Oh no.
I don't think we told him.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
But yeah, especially the girl we were talking about earlier. She was just like her first instinct was just like, please tell me you did not shoplift that. And please tell me you did not just steal a baguette from Panera. And I was like, no, I didn't. Don't worry about it. And then
Yeah,
after that, they were just like, what were you thinking? I was like, making some memories, you know. And
true.
yeah, we feasted that night.
Yeah, that was a huge loaf of bread. It's like thin and long at the same time. Tasted
Yeah,
really good.
it was
Really.
very good bread, indeed. But yeah, I think with that great note, I think it's time to wrap up this episode.
Oh, of
Uh,
course.
yeah, so just gonna thank you to the viewers and listeners to listening to this podcast. Make sure to follow us on social media on Instagram at the Rift Podcast Project and on Twitter at Podcast Rift. Make sure to check out some other videos, subscribe, and like this video, and comment down below on any topics that you want us to talk about. And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Kamal, thank you so much for being here today. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, of course. Yeah, make sure that you guys like and subscribe. And yeah,
Yeah.
I'll see you guys later.
All right. We'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.